This week at Codename Good Game, there's nothing to talk about but Summer Game Fest. Who will be there? Who won't? Let's find out. And who other to talk about Summer Game Fest with me than somebody, honestly, it's funny. I was just listening to my Outer Wilds podcast with him this morning. It is Nick from Friday Night Gamecast. Hello, sir. You're on screen.
Tony, thank you so much for having me back, man. This is an honor to be back on Codename Good Game. I'm so excited to be here and talk about Summer Games Fest with you. And also, shout out to that episode, because that was a great episode that we put together. You put on a performance for that one, I think.
I didn't put on performance. We were just genuinely talking.
We were. It was a genuine conversation. I think it was a quality episode. So yeah.
I love looking back. There's a moment that you ask, like, yeah, so what's your most anticipated game? And I'm like, nobody guesses it, but it's Pikmin 4. And you were like, what?
I think I tried. Yeah. I tried to guess a couple of times, and it wasn't happening. So
is there a Kingdom Hearts or a Halo game coming out this year? I don't.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Not this year.
It wasn't coming to mind. not this year. Not this year. Real question. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you want to save this or not, but like, I genuinely want to ask you, like, first of all, what do you think about the fact that they took away Sora's clown shoes, number one, and then number two, when are we going to see KH4? When are we getting it, Tony?
It's funny you asked that because
I did a whole video about it where I tell you the marketing plan.
So that's the link up above in this video?
No, it's not linked, but it's just latest Kingdom Hearts video. Well, actually, no, I did something about missing link. But no, long story short, it depends on when Dragon Quest 12 starts marketing itself.
Ooh, so, yeah.
Yes, I think that is a factor to play. So if we don't see Dragon Quest 12 at Summer Game Fest in 2 weeks, then maybe there's something to talk about. Because that's what we're talking about today, folks, is Summer Game Fest. Like, who we think, like, it's, I almost wanted to phrase this in a way of, like, instead of saying who we think will be there, it's like, who we think won't be there. and
for sure.
We'll definitely talk about, like, the games that are going to be, like what we think might be safe bets, what are spicy ideas, what things we personally hope for, and the publishers, like is PlayStation, Nintendo going to do anything, and so on. Like, it's just kind of like this whole ramble about Summer Game Fest. That, Nick, what did you say as we were booting up? I want you to repeat what you said. Like,
I have no, this has stumped me. I have no clue what's going to show up at this show. Because, like, okay, here's the thing. Last year at Summer Games Fest, Keeley, he downplayed it, and he justifiably so, because, like, legitimately not much was shown. You had your Hoyoverse, shill, like, you had 3 Hoyoverse games that he was advertising, which he typically does both at SGF and as well as the Game Awards. And I think they basically just fund like half the show for him, and then like he had like a handful of double A's. I don't remember whether or not, like, if Snake Eater was, Delta Metal Gear Delta was shown there last year, if it was at the Game Awards or not. But yeah, it was definitely interesting, but it was very low key. Like, I don't remember anything standing out from SGF last year, so it's tough.
I think Summer Game Fest specifically is like just always one that just, like, it just kind of happens and then we forget about it. Like, Summer Game Fest kickoff show specifically, it's like one of those showcases that it's never terrible, it's never great, it's just kind of there, and then we watch it or whatever. Then sometimes there's nice stuff, but before we get to that, Nick, I just wanted to, like, really quick just check in. I hope you're good, man. Like, it's been a hot minute. I like having the one-on-one shows with you, and we're just like talking while I was setting up the show. But I don't know, is there anything anything that you saw this week in terms of, because we're just going to focus on Summer Game Fest, but just a brief little catch-up moment, or for anybody else, if you're watching live, Shark, Rocket, Supertone, C2, guys, thank you very much. Rocket, I know, did you forget to go live again? No, this time I did it right. Basically, I for my, like, 9th anniversary this week, I was live for a half hour, and I didn't actually press the go live button.
No.
So I was doing a whole bit in a show for like a half hour, and then I realized, I'm like, I haven't been live this whole time.
You're doing a thing, okay.
It was so funny.
I'm glad we.
But yeah, so yeah, are you like playing anything lately, or?
Yeah.
Or
So
did you see any piece of news this week that's worthy of a shout out? Or
I mean, definitely the fact that like we're getting, I mean, something that's going to color this conversation is the fact that Jeff Grubb confirmed that we talked about this offline, that we're going to get the PlayStation State of Play is what he's leaning towards, which makes sense because I doubt that they have something like a bulk of games that are substantial enough to kind of suggest a showcase. So State of Play makes sense for them to come out in June. So that kind of is going to color like what we're going to see here beyond what we already know for the couple of the games that they have confirmed
yeah,
for
bookmark
Summer
that.
Games
We're coming
Fest.
back to that for sure.
Yeah. But I think that, yeah, I mean, it's just like generally, yeah, news has been slow this year. Obviously, I did not get a Switch 2 pre-order, so it's one of those things where I'm just gonna have to get it whenever I
didn't get
can,
one?
and it's gonna. No, I did not. I did not get one. So
Oh.
I'm gonna be feeling massive FOMO. And this, Tony, I don't know if you know about this about me, but I am a huge victim of FOMO. Like I am the most susceptible person to it. So when I'm on Twitter, when I'm on Blue Sky, and I see all my friends playing Mario Kart World and DK Bonanza and whatever is going to come out, for the rest of this, year on Switch, and if I don't have it at that point, I'm going to be hurting. Even though I have a stack of Switch games that are in my shelf in the living room that are left unplayed and dusty. But otherwise, I mean, still, it's like I still have stuff to play. I have stuff to do.
It's funny
I'm
you mentioned
finishing.
about the stack because I was like listening. I was either our podcast or our like last. I think we've only done actually one one-on-one good game episode.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it was one of those two things that I heard. I'm like giving you shit. I'm like, Nick, just beat the game you're on. Just beat the game you're on. It's so funny.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
No, it's
But I mean, I'm
impossible.
with
It's
you
impossible.
because like just on my front of things, like this is the best year ever for Xbox Game Pass. Like I just it's insane. And I mean that's a quick sort of a shout out of a news story being that like, oh, but and this is actually something for you specifically, by the way, where it's like, oh, we're doing a recoat of Warhammer Space Marine 1.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna release that day one on Game Pass when it comes out. Like, what?
Which is insane. It's
Which will
insane.
be
The
right
fact the
next to
whole
Rematch, and we're gonna be working on Elden Ring Night Reign in between that and Doom: The Dark Ages, and
Right.
we're just coming off of Expedition 33, and then just before that, oh, we shadow dropped Oblivion, and it's just like, dude, I need to breathe. I need to breathe.
Yeah, no,
I
I
mean,
expect it.
moment.
So it's funny. I mean, like, there's a lot of games that are coming out this year that are really great. I never expected Expedition 33 to hit for me as hard as it has. Basically in the end game now, I'm just kind of wrapping up stuff in the overworld. Incredible experience. Everybody go play it. But like to your point
Yes,
about Xbox
yes.
Game Pass, like it has been nothing but hit after hit, and they've been all like, you hear the meme. If anybody's paying attention to the news, they talk about are the dominoes falling yet, and now they are legitimately. Now the pieces are in place, and arguably they have been for quite some time. It's just people don't
I
pay
agree.
attention to AA indie titles, even though
Yes.
Xbox has had nothing but
Or if
bangers
they're not
on that front.
exclusive.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I do
Yeah.
think though, and that's the interesting point that you bring up, because whether or not something's exclusive, I'm seeing that the outrage or the rage baiting audience that is out there, in the kind of I guess the tribalist gaming communities have like piped down on that front. Like nobody's really crying a river about the fact that Xbox now has consistently like communicated that they're going to roll out stuff like Indiana Jones and all of these other first party titles that are coming over to PlayStation. So I think it's fine.
I wonder, do you think that they were, this makes sense to me. Do you think that they were just trying to get people really used to it before the showcase?
Definitely. Definitely. I
Ooh.
definitely think so. And honestly, I hope they're making money. I hope they're making money because
Oh,
that
they
means
are.
that, yeah, and I
Dude,
guarantee they
that's
are.
another story. Like they posted this week that like, oh yeah, in the 4 of the top 10 most sold games on PlayStation currently are Xbox owned stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Which
Oblivion
is, I
apparently
think
was
that,
like the most sold game for them last month, and it's like yeah.
that was like what Matt Piscatella, he was posting that from like MPD Group. Is that right? I remember hearing about that, but yeah,
I think
that's
it was just like
incredible.
official game sale charts or whatever. Yeah.
Okay,
So it's
got it.
because a lot of people did. A lot of people went into Oblivion, and that's also it's just like, yeah, I bought it for Steam, I bought it for PlayStation, but they don't want to do it on Game Pass, which is like a whole ramble. I literally just shot something about it that I think, I don't know. It's a very very raw video that I recorded, but we'll see when that comes out though, because there's got to be like so much stuff to build up over the coming weeks that is showcase season. So I don't know. I just wanted a moment. Yeah.
Sorry, we didn't even mention the fact that Game of the Year 2024 Metaphor ReFantazio is coming to Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
Like soon, so frequently, which makes sense because of Xbox's relationship with Atlas. Like it obviously would. I was surprised that it wasn't already out on it, but still the fact that it's coming out so soon and it's such a high quality game, it's insane, honestly.
Game of the Year nom. Game of the Year nom. Yep. Yeah. It's nuts. Like I don't know. I just feel like if somebody isn't subbing to Game Pass by now, then they're just not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So anyway, and that's why they're just gonna post stuff to PlayStation. It's like, fine, we'll go to where you are.
So
anyways, though, let's get into the main shenanigans. But Rocket, Supertone, C2, Shark, anybody else, if you're watching live or afterwards, please let us know. What are some things that happened in your world this week, what you're playing, and also your commentary off of the things that we're going to bring up. And I want to remind you that this is Nick from the Friday Night Gamecast, that he is just an awesome dude making great content of the podcast, whatever. Have you guys, are you on a hiatus? I forgot to ask that. How's it going?
We are on a hiatus right now. However, last Sunday we just recorded season 4, the first episode of season 4, covering PAX East 25, which I have a little snippet for you about. So yeah.
For me?
Yeah, for everybody. So we'll see.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Well, cool. Well, yeah, I'm glad. And you can find his link tree in the description if you're interested. But for now, Nick, I guess let's just start talking about it, because I don't know how long, what we'll say about this. We'll see. Hopefully it'll be just a nice little 40 to 60 minute conversation. But
absolutely.
What may happen.
For sure.
You say that with like caution. Absolutely. Of course it's
I mean, yeah.
It's not going to go beyond that.
It's not like I don't like to yap or anything, Tony.
Of all of my guests, I've always felt bad because I'm like, I have to cut him off just so somebody else can jump in.
You are like, so
I
right
always
though
value
to
everything
do that.
you say.
Yeah. I have to pull it back, and I value you for bringing me in. So we're good at it.
But that's why I like talking to you, because you're just passionate about video games, and that's what I'm about. And so that's exactly. So anyways, so in that vein, let's jump into it. The honestly just the topic this week. I spent a little bit of a break of Codename Good Game, which is basically our gamer club, like a book club, to get together and talk about things going on or things to reflect on. It's just a good opportunity to reflect about your love of video games and to talk about them. But this week we're kind of talking about a future event rather than things going on. Summer Game Fest. That's literally around the corner. We have the kickoff show that is, I believe, on the first Friday of June. I think so. I should double check that. It's either Thursday or Friday. But yeah, same weekend as Xbox Showcase.
June 6th. Yeah.
June 6th. So that's
Friday. That is the first Friday. Yep.
Okay, cool. So, that might mean there's no good game that day. Either that or we are just talking about the show. We'll see. But so
you want to live react to it?
Oh, I will live react to it. Yeah.
Okay,
for sure.
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, thanks Nick for that plug-in. So yeah, so I'll be live reacting to
I got you.
You're my assistant, man. You got it. You're my PR assistant. but yeah, but before then, it's a couple weeks beforehand, so this conversation can last over the next couple weeks. I wanted to ask Nick just our ideas about Summer Game Fest. And as he teased earlier, we're kind of, because I'm with you, man. I'm a little bit stumped on what could be there and so on. But like, I think there is a couple things that are safe. And a couple things that'd be amazing if they happen that are in the realm of possibility, I believe. But Summer Game Fest, the show that Jeff Keighley kind of kicks off what is now not E3, but just the summer season of state of plays, directs, showcases, presentations, whatever. Future game show. That's a thing that I don't think people should skip. And so with that in mind, the first thing I kind of want to hit though before we decide what will be in this actual show that kind of kicks off the season is, who do you think won't be there? We know Nintendo just had their state of play their Switch 2
Nintendo
Switch 2
Direct. Yep.
Yeah, the Switch 2 Direct, they just did that. We don't know if they're gonna have a June Direct. Let's just start there. But in regards to Nintendo, like, so does Nintendo show anything at Summer Game Fest, or do they have a June Direct?
So Nintendo confirmed that they're going to be at Gamescom in Germany. I think that's in October.
Yes.
I could be wrong.
August.
So
August.
It's in August. Okay. I would be very surprised if Nintendo has any presence whatsoever at Summer Games Fest. They just don't need Jeff, and they don't really need the penetration that he offers. It's also like just like historically, yeah. Sorry, poor phrasing, but I think that it's just like when we're thinking about what they have and what they're going for. I think that Nintendo kind of operates on the information scarcity that they generally do whenever they're rolling out titles. I think it's kind of what hypes up their fan base is the little amount that they give them about the bigger projects that they have. We saw it from like all of the creators that went to their secret Switch 2 thing that they had, like a to fly folks out and get hands-on impressions of the Nintendo Switch 2.0 and all of the games that are going to be coming out this year for it, at least games they had vertical slices for. And I think that it's just like that kind of that, I don't know, closed room public public relations model that they have is just it's probably going to continue. And I could be wrong, but I would be highly doubtful that anything Nintendo first party will be there. Anything that's like third party that they're doing potentially could be like, it could be an interesting
like a partner or something. Yeah,
for sure. It is confirmed to be an exclusive, but Duskbloods being for the Nintendo Switch, and obviously Jeff has a good relationship with FromSoft. So I think that it could potentially be, but I also don't know what value Summer Games Fest could add to that other beyond what they already displayed at the Nintendo Direct. So yeah, that's definitely not going to be here.
Do you think we see like just ads for the Switch 2 even? Because the Summer Game Fest is kind of riddled with ads, and the Switch 2 will have come out like 2 days before this show. So I wonder if they remind people of it, like, hey, if you missed the pre-orders, get it, or here's Mario Kart or whatever. So
yeah, I think it could be a reality if pre-orders are under expectations of what Nintendo wants, but I don't think that that's a reality because they're all gone. Because if real people haven't gotten them, scalpers absolutely
go to your store right now, suck it.
So I highly doubt anything Nintendo first party. Maybe like a special edition peripheral, like one of the cameras or a new Alarma, or maybe like a controller potentially could be there. That would make sense to me. Something that's like, obviously it engages and it like generates the hype for the actual launch cycle ecosystem for the console. But yeah, other than that, I don't know anything would be there. I'll tell you what's not going to be there though, Tony. 100% is not going to be there. Hollow Knight Silk Song's not going to be there. So we just cross that off the list.
Bookmark, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, well, you're fast forwarding on something that I'm gonna do later, but okay. Yep. Okay. So interesting. Every time I'm just getting flashbacks down to when we did our like fantasy draft of the Game Awards. You were like,
"Oh my god,
Hollow Knight Silk Song is never coming out, man," and I remember that.
Oh yeah, man, I just don't believe it's real. It's hard for me to believe it's real because of
they showed it for 3 seconds at the Switch 2 Direct. They just casually confirmed 2025. Bye.
Yeah, just casually. I don't believe that either. I just don't. Yeah, I mean, if anything, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, well, I just wanted to keep going back to Nintendo because like something of an idea that I wanted to bring up is I see Silver here live and he's saying like June Direct or a Switch 2 blowout during SGF. Regarding the idea of a June Direct, because that's something that has always been, Nintendo's cadence is usually we'll have a general Nintendo Direct in February, June, and September. And this year that's kind of gone out the window a bit. Heck, they even had a regular Nintendo Direct like the week before the Switch 2 or whatever. And it's like, wow.
Wildest thing, for sure.
That was wild, So,
yeah.
But I do wonder if I feel like there's a lot of people, and this is why I'm very curious, like your take and people watching live or after, like the over-under idea of a June Direct. They're not at Summer Game Fest, and I want to talk about what would be in that Direct, just if they would do it or not, because I've always felt the idea that while it seems unlikely, I also feel like it just makes sense because they did the April one for the Switch 2 and it just came out, but maybe a late June show is one that they really do sell the software because they had to spend like a
Yeah.
third or half of that Switch 2 direct talking about the hardware. They definitely showed games, they definitely showed their partners, but
Mhm.
here's dates for freaking Pokemon Za, Air Riders, Hyrule Warriors, all these things that don't have dates yet. So,
Yeah.
like I just feel like that's a very strong possibility. And then have a reveal or two that help set up. Is there a giant fall game that you're gonna have, or is it just kind of what we know, or for
Sure.
you, Nick, Fire Emblem? Who knows?
Oh,
um,
oh, my heart.
I was
My heart.
wrong. I thought we are gonna see the Fire Emblem, but I was wrong. So,
Yeah,
but
I think
maybe in this
intelligence
one we
systems.
would. So I feel
Yeah.
like that is a strong possibility. I don't know if I'd like bet my life on it, but I feel like a let me look at the calendar here. Like a June direct on like June 24th or 25th. I could picture it, but what do you think?
I could see it. I think that they would wait. They would space it out. I think they would just let the Switch 2 land. And I don't know what the day one games are. Obviously, it's Mario Kart World is coming out on the same
Mhm.
day. I can't remember which of the other ones. I know DK Bonanza is like a November, December title. And then Air Riders
Mhm.
is no date. Metroid Prime, I
Well, Bonanza's
think they gave.
July.
Bonanza is July. Okay, got it. So that's
Yeah.
their big summer game. I wouldn't be surprised if they waited like maybe towards the tail end of July, maybe first week of August to be like, boom, here are the dates for everything like Kirby, like everything else that they haven't dated for their first party, rollout that they're trying to do for this year. And then say, okay, here's like a sneak peek at what to expect for next year potentially. I don't know if they would also say that because they usually do right before either before or after the Game Awards, they do a last like end of the year Nintendo Direct, if I'm not mistaken. It's usually like 3 a year. If I could be wrong
Yeah.
about that, but I
The
think that's kind
September.
of been
Yeah.
what they do. Um,
Yeah.
so I think that they would like probably wait and space it out equidistant and probably around like July, maybe right before DK comes out, and then like you get another little look at DK quickly for
Yeah,
that
that could be a totally
showcase, and
different
then
schedule this year.
yeah.
That's true.
And then you
Yeah.
could get Sakurai come out and be like, it's Kirby Air Riders, and everybody's going to lose their minds over that because it's going to be incredible because Kirby's the best. Yeah, that's probably what we would look at for something like that.
Yeah. I'd love to know if you're watching live, over or under, is there a late June Nintendo Direct that's just focusing entirely on the software? That's what I'm wondering, and that's what I'm curious about. And then the other factor, of course, is what you're wearing, Nick, and what you teased out earlier.
Yes.
Is PlayStation
Yes.
is PlayStation going to show anything at Summer Game Fest? We're kind of talking about the folks that might not be there or will have very little. And if they give anything to Jeff, what would it be?
I think if they give anything to Jeff, it's going to be a reboot or a remaster. And there have been really solid rumors about the God of War Greek Trilogy remaster that have consistently come out. And if they gave that to Jeff, Summer Games Fest might be like super OP this year. That would be like icing on the cake if assuming that it's not just like a lighting or like a, texture remaster. If they gave it like a full send, like I don't want to say remake, but like, a really, really big in-depth mechanical overhaul using the current God of War systems and just putting that
Sure.
in the Greek games and like reimagine some of the scenes there, that would be, I think, very, very cool if we could get something like that. It might be maybe the scope of what they're looking at might be a little bit too much. But I definitely believe that if PlayStation shows up, it would be something like that. Or it would be like, we're doing a Horizon 1 and 2, reloaded, remastered edition, whatever they want.
Yeah, because previous shows, if I recall, what I can remember, and I'm pretty sure these were Summer Game Fest. I know one of them is, but I know like we got Death Stranding Director's Cut there. We got I believe it was either Summer Game Fest or Game Awards, the Horizon Forbidden West DLC announced. So, and I don't remember remasters, but I'm with you of like, I don't feel like they would they would show the Saros gameplay there from
No.
Housemarque or
No.
announce anything there. You know, it would be something like, yeah, a remaster or a DLC, but the rest we want to keep for our show, to which that's, Nick, that's the question. So as you alluded, there's the Jeff Grubb rumor. Like, yeah, I hear there's going to be a PlayStation thing, and I'm betting it's a state of play, not a showcase.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, and
sorry,
another thing, yeah, it was just something that like occurred to me as you were talking about like what would be there. That's, I think, I'm really curious about what your take on this specifically is, though, because Marathon has become super toxic super quickly because of the controversy. But I would not be surprised if prior to all of the art theft that has now come to light with that game, that they would have had like gameplay footage, like another in-depth look at like a new mode for Marathon or something like that, or new operatives that they have for that game. I wouldn't be surprised. I think that if PlayStation were to be smart, they would pull that and they would save it for a state of play, or they would save it for the PlayStation blog and be like, hey, look, and this is what people are saying largely, this is not just a me take, but like, hey, we're going back to playtesting. Like, this is going to be a closed playtest situation while we figure out what the heck we're going to do with the art, because it's just so extensive what they have to do to rework it, from what I imagine.
Yeah. Because it's funny, because Marathon would make sense to be at Summer Game Fest, but yeah, they're kind of in a interesting pickle now with that, so I didn't think of that. I don't like, because I think that would be a great showing for Summer Game Fest, but you're right, they're kind of in this situation that it's just a bit more complicated now, and the more they show, the more it could potentially get risky. I don't know, to which if people don't know what we're talking about, just basically they're using art that they didn't have approval to use, so now they're kind of like trying to figure out how to navigate that, which I personally think they'll just hand over like $10 million to the person or whatever.
For sure.
I feel like that's the most, like, it's not money efficient wise, but just time wise. If we want to release this on time, that's the fastest way we could deal with this. But
for sure.
Anyway, but yeah, but in terms of PlayStation, I think I just want, because we're kind of like just talking about who will and won't be at Summer Game Fest and maybe why they will or won't. But like, I just hope that PlayStation, I just want a showcase, man.
For sure. We haven't gotten one in so long. I was just
researching this. I was just researching this for this thing I recorded, and there was one last year, but it was at the start of last year, so it feels a lot longer. But and that was the one that I personally liked, you know, but people didn't because they just saw Helldivers 2 and Concord and Marathon and Destiny, and they were like, these aren't first party games. I'm like, oh, technically they are. But you know, there's that expectation of the third person action adventure narrative, whatever. But yeah, like I just really hope that if Jeff Grubb's right and they are doing some sort of presentation, I want the label of showcase, even if it's a mild showcase. Just make it 40 minutes, have your partners and so on. And if something's not at Summer Game Fest, I almost guarantee you, if it's a partner, they'll be at that showcase. Because that's just where the most eyes are going to be, honestly. But sorry, Xbox. But I mean, they've been getting better getting partners. But yeah, I just want that showcase. Just you got enough to pull off a decent one, you know. You just throw out some other random Yote and give us a freaking update on Wolverine already. Show that Saros gameplay and make a new Lego game. I don't know, but I don't know. I just hope that's a showcase and not a state of play.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I would like a showcase, but I'm not crossing my fingers for it whatsoever.
Right.
Not
raising expectations. Yeah.
For sure. I know you mentioned Xbox there really quickly. I didn't know if you wanted to transition into potentially Xbox or touch on it.
No,
since
that's
I know
a great
you don't
question.
want to talk about it.
No, I'm down because Silver asked, and Silver, you're killing it in the chat, man. Thank you so much. And I see Silver said, what about an Xbox showing during Summer Game Fest? That's a good question, because while we're on the idea of the first party peeps, you know, Xbox has been mixing things up a lot lately, and and they're making more and more games multi-plat. But the more interesting situation for them is not necessarily the multi-plat stuff, but the fact that they have their own showcase like 2 days later.
Yes.
Their showcase is
Yes.
always so close to Summer Game Fest. So I always have that question every year. I'm like, is there anything that they share with Summer Game Fest? And I can't
They
recall
usually
if they have.
I feel like it's happened before, and like I've watched the Xbox showcase, and or maybe it's vice versa, where it's like I watch the Xbox showcase, and then like I see a very similar trailer, if not like the same trailer at the Game Awards or at Summer Games Fest or something like that. So I was always just like, oh, they doubled up. This is just still part of the marketing for this game. But yeah, man, like I honestly legitimately like Xbox is a little bit weird. I would be interested if they were to like throw something. Because Xbox has so many different types of directs that they do now, whether it's going to be their showcase that they have during the summer or the Day of the Devs that they have, or like the Xbox.
Day of the
There's
Devs,
another
yep.
one, yeah, the Day of the Devs one, where they usually showed like the 4 games, like where they showed what was it, Ninja Gaiden 4 this year. So we could see
Yeah.
something like a Ninja Gaiden 4 at Summer
But
Games Fest. I feel
that's
like
stuff
as
that
a
I
third party
fully
partner.
expect for their own show, like,
Yeah.
and that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like, what do they share? I'm currently like live. I'm scrolling through everything announced on the previous Summer Game Fest, and I'm like, as I'm going through this, there's nothing here that was an Xbox thing,
It was an Xbox
like
title.
from anything that they own.
Yeah.
There's some exclusive things, like Pal World got a new trailer, which was Xbox exclusive at
Right.
the time, but like, yeah, everything here. In fact, yeah, PlayStation. Is Phantom Blade Zero? Is that a PlayStation published game? It's not by one of their studios, but
it's a third party game, but I'm pretty sure they're like a partner, kind of like Helldivers 2. I wouldn't be surprised
yeah,
if
exactly.
Phantom Blade
That's
Zero
what I
had
mean.
that PlayStation logo. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, they showed up with Phantom Blade Zero and Horizon the Lego thing. So it's like,
Oh wow. Okay. They could have that.
So
this is crazy. This is a crazy take for me, Tony. But I legitimately think that Xbox is kind of killing it with the marketing right now, and this would be a very smart move for them to put the Gears of War Reloaded edition at SGF, like a quick, like a trailer, just like a trailer for
that's
it.
a good shout. I agree with that. That's a very good shout, because I personally think there's a whole other conversation to have, and I intend to have it, whether it's next week or whatever. But I think Xbox has learned the things. Last year's showcase got so recognized by many as like, this is like one of the best showcases I've ever seen, period, let alone from Xbox and everything.
Yep.
And I thought they were going to do stuff like add a bunch of the Activision backlog stuff and maybe like a remaster or something, but they just skipped all that and focused on like brand new stuff. And I think that they're going to follow on that. And I think that's why, like, let's talk about this Tony Hawk remaster. I think Oblivion still would have been a great shout in it, but like let's announce all these remasters and multi-plats and releases and stuff beforehand, so we can make the showcase focus on these other things. And those other things that's why I'm saying that's a whole other topic. But like, yeah, I just wonder what they would share with Summer Game Fest, if anything, when they have a showcase 2 days later. So I'm guessing nothing. Maybe Call of Duty, like like new season for Call of Duty, something like that. Like very update kind of a thing. But I think Gears of War, that's a really good shout. That's a good shout, Nick. Anyhow, so in terms of the 3 platform holders, like again, hopefully PlayStation has a showcase, but at the least they'll have a state of play. I would imagine, whether Jeff Grubb said it or not. And I personally think it'd be cool if a late June or early July Nintendo Direct, and obviously the Xbox showcase. But the real thing you see at Summer Game Fest is the third parties. And with that in mind, can you see any third party person not showing up at Summer Game Fest? Like, just there's no presence from them whatsoever.
Honestly, not. Okay, thank you. Yeah. I genuinely I don't see any reason why they wouldn't, unless it was going to be like they're going to make something exclusive for either, Sony or Microsoft, like the example of, FromSoft's Duskblood's collab with Nintendo. Obviously, Nintendo probably paid a lot of money for that exclusive deal, and they're probably going to want to keep as little information about it until it's like 100% ready and almost about to drop to show off from it. Also, we all know that, FromSoft is pretty cagey about the stuff that they've come out with. That being said, obviously, being at PAX East, they've been very open about Night Rain. Obviously, a lot of coverage of Night Rain. You'll see a ton of stuff. They've done playtesting live for it. So, when it comes to third party people, like that's one of the reasons why I think like Ninja Gaiden 4, yes, very much an Xbox driven experience, but I wouldn't be surprised if I saw it at SGF. I think that would make sense. I don't think we're going to see Borderlands 4 there. They could, I don't know. 2K is so weird about the way that they like. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, and I have something to say about Borderlands 4, which was going to be the next part.
I'm
but
not
like,
playing. I'm not playing.
Nick. Something I think is fun about you and me is that I've noticed lately we have very different takes.
Really? Okay.
We have very different takes. But that's what makes it fun to me. But
yeah,
I guess like so. Let's take a step back in memory lane to E3.
Okay.
Where Ubisoft would have their own thing. I see Silver shouting out the Ubisoft forwards and everything. There would be the EA plays, and there would be Square Enix would have a thing. And now we're in this day and age that all those publishers, they sometimes do their own thing, but mostly really just Capcom, I feel like. And even those standalone things aren't the best put together. So I guess what I'm getting from your answer is that I was curious about in my head is like, are they just going to rely on Jeff's thing and Xbox and PlayStation, Nintendo shows to do their stuff? Or do you think like, is there any of the publishers you could picture like doing their own thing?
EA for sure. I mean, usually they have some kind of direct. EA would, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe towards the end of the summer or maybe early fall or something like that, we got an EA Play. I think that's what they call it, EA Play, like direct
EA
or
Play.
something like that. That they do. They could. It's interesting because like during COVID, all of these companies like Ubisoft and EA and like the bigger third party corporations had to, kind of develop their own directs because nobody was coming to conventions. Nobody, like the E3 wasn't a thing anymore. And then all of a sudden everybody kind of had to figure out the resolution, and, some really killed it and then others really fumbled during that whole COVID time frame. So I wouldn't be surprised. You know what? I would think that I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see anything from is Ubisoft. I would not be surprised at all.
I was about to ask you about Ubisoft.
Yeah. If Ubisoft
I have a question.
Does not show up.
Did you ever see the hotel press conference?
Oh yes, I saw that, and it was like a train wreck. I couldn't look away. I couldn't look away, Tony.
That was so. I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought that was so crazy. If people don't know what we're talking about, oh my god, it's just basically their E3 presentation. They did their E3 presentation of sorts. It was last year, the year before, just this hotel lobby with just cameras in the back. You couldn't even tell what the gameplay was, and it was just like so crazy. The mics were shit. Oh my god. That was so crazy.
It was like at the last minute, somebody in like PR or corporate comms decided, "Oh my god, we need a showcase because everyone else is doing it," and they were like, "Oh, okay, I guess." And like they contracted nobody. It was awful. Oh my god. But Ubisoft, I don't think they have anything. I mean, like the Shadows was their last big hurrah, I feel like, and legitimately, I don't know of anything that's in the works or anything that they're cooking up that would be worth our time. So, I mean, it would make sense if they just kind of held off.
I think that Prince of Persia remake could, because they did give a release date to it, and it's like I don't know where else they would show it.
The last news that I heard about Prince of Persia is they were tearing it down and doing a complete from the ground up overhaul for that remake.
Right.
The Sands of Time, right?
The Sands of Time remake. I know they shut down the studio, which sucks because it was a freaking awesome game. They shut down the studio that did the 2D Metroidvania one. But then this remake, they gave a release date, like an actual date, and it was like early 2026 or something. So, okay, then I guess
maybe. I mean, that could be a thing.
And I'm with Silver, man. Like, harkening back to the days of E3, I miss the Square Enix presentations, whatever. I miss the Capcom ones, and like but I definitely think if Capcom doesn't show up at Jeff's show, they will for sure show up at PlayStation show.
Oh, well, Capcom loves Jeff. I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing it. Dude,
they split it.
Tony, I'm going to hype you up right now. If they show us Resident Evil 9, I'm flipping something over. I don't care if it's my desk. I don't care if it's my chair. I'm flipping something over if I see Resident Evil 9 at Summer Games Fest. I'm worked up right now, man. I would love to see that.
Nick, let me introduce you to, I was going to save this to the end, but let me introduce you to a quick round of over and under where I have a list of games that I would like to hear you and you watching tell us. Is the probability of anything of this game, a trailer, reveal, or whatever, over probability or under probability? First one, I already found out your answer, but Silk Song. Silk Song.
Under as hell for me. I'm curious what chat
Under as hell for me.
Yeah.
I say under too. Not for like whatever reasons, but I feel like they'll probably just do their own thing, or maybe at Xbox's show. Because of Game Pass and everything. Warhammer anything. I think under because it seems like they just did something. I don't know. I think June is actually under. Warhammer month or something, so yeah.
I would say under for me personally.
GTA 6.
That's definitely not happening. It's definitely not happening. Oh, under.
It's as likely as a sequel to the Colonel Sanders dating.
If my co-host were here, he would say we're absolutely getting it, and it's going to be another, all-time greatest hits, game trailer. Sorry to interrupt you. I know we're in the middle of the game, but what did you think of the trailer?
I was gonna say it was amazing, but it's like,
okay.
I don't know. It just, to me, it was just a showcase of how amazing it looked.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Yeah. And I fully believe that's how it's going to look in the end, because that's Red Dead Redemption 2's early stuff, GTA 5's early stuff. They looked exactly like what they showed. So I believe that's what's going to be.
For sure.
And as I roll through these, I want to see, just if you're watching, to let us know another over or under. Like Silver saying under for GTA 6. Rockstar's got to do their own thing with GTA, and they know it. / Take Two. Monster Hunter Wilds DLC.
I'd say over.
Okay. I'm with you on that. I think over.
I give it 60-40 over, potentially.
Yeah, 60-40. I like that you even gave a number.
Yeah,
I can picture it. The release date for the Lies of P DLC.
Ooh.
Yeah.
At SGF?
At SGF specifically.
I wonder if I can't remember if they announced it at SGF. I'd say if they I could look it up now, but if they announced it at SGF originally, then over. If it was at PlayStation, then under.
I'm trying to remember where it was announced. I have a reaction video to it and everything. I feel like, because I know it showed up at a recent State of Play. Yeah, actually, I mean, they didn't announce it anywhere. They just verbally announced it. But an actual trailer, I think that was at the most recent State of Play.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I believe. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, it was at that State of Play earlier this year. So
okay.
Could be. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, Patrick saying 60-40 over for Lies of P DLC date. Yeah, because we just know it's coming in the summer. So, Tekken 8 DLC.
Under.
They just showed one at the Game Awards, so I could see. Yeah, they might. That just might not be a thing. Okay, this is a juicy one. For if shout out to Capone if you're here. A new Tales of game. Do you know what I mean by that?
Like Tales of Arise?
Tales of Arise, Tales of Vesperia, that's a whole series.
Tales of Symphonia, another one. I'd say over. Those usually show up. Those show up in those show up in like a sizzle reel quick cut that he does at some point in the middle of the show. I wouldn't be surprised if
They
did
announce
that.
a new Tales of in a sizzle?
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't get its own
How
trailer.
How many people? Okay, real honest question because I don't know.
I know what
But how into
many
Tales
people
are
care
people?
about Tales?
Legitimately? Yeah, how many people care about Tales? Let's be real.
Oh man, I mean it has its following, but that's just so funny. Yeah, they reveal it in a sizzle. A new Tales of game in a sizzle. Like I personally don't. I know I have a fan that's like a mega fan of it, but
Okay.
but I know there's a fan base for it, but Steffi's so brutally honest.
That's me.
Like,
That's me. That's how I do it.
I just thought of this idea because I think that'd be an interesting thing because I know Tales of Arise, which I think came out in 2022, if I remember right. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, it was revealed in like 2019, 2020, something like that. When E3 was still a thing. I think it was like one of the final years of E3, actually, they revealed it. And so it's been a couple years. So I'm not saying it's coming out soon, but just revealing the next project potentially. Okay, so here's Creature, the fan. He's like, it's big in the East, not big in the West. I believe that. I believe that very much. Yeah. So, but that's funny. You say over. I feel like that's a next year thing, but I thought it's an interesting idea. I would love, especially Creature, you being the fan, like, or anybody else. Do you think over or under we get a reveal for the next Tales of game at Summer Game Fest kickoff? Persona
so
anything.
over.
He says over. Cool. Persona anything.
Oh, yeah. I was just asking. I didn't know if he said over or not. Persona anything under. They've been so busy. I don't think Rob the robot from the Game Duopod is freaking convinced that we're getting a Persona 4 remake a la the Persona 3 Reloaded. I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Maybe because I'm genuinely confused that they ported Persona 4 to Xbox and it's on Xbox Game Pass. But like, is that not a remastered edition of the original Persona 4 that was on the Vita?
No, that was a period that they just released like just HD versions of Persona 3 and 4 and just Persona 5 Royal to Game Pass, kind of like in bursts or all at once or something like that. And then Reload was an actual like full-blown remake. And that's what the vein, the rumors are, is that P4R is like the same vein. It's like a remake of Persona 4. I admit, I'm gonna say kind of like what you were saying earlier with Lies of P. I think under for Summer Game Fest, but I do think over for the Xbox showcase.
I'm right there with you. We're of one mind right now, Tony. We're so locked in. We're so locked in. I'm right there with you. It's coming to Xbox for sure.
Yeah, I think Sega and Atlas have had such a good relationship with Xbox lately, and I feel like that we'll probably see that game revealed there, but it's not coming out till next year. Sorry, Rob.
Sorry.
But yeah. Okay, now we're to the thing that maybe triggered this whole list. Resident Evil 9.
Okay. Yeah.
Now you just shared it's a big hope of yours. But
I want it so bad, Tony, but like also Capcom and Sony are like this when it comes to Resident Evil.
Yes.
Yes. So I think they're gonna wait till June. So I'm gonna say, like you said, for Persona, I'm gonna say under for SGF, over for PlayStation State of Play, June 25. So
and I'm exactly with you there. Yeah, under for SGF, over for whatever this PlayStation showcase. And I will say that, like, over for the PlayStation thing. Like, I think it's about time. It seems like we went a little bit of a spell with that Resident Evil. So yeah, I think that's a very strong possibility of like a reveal and then a release for next year. Early next
Nicholas G says Catherine 2 for Atlas, and that's a good pull, Nick. That's a good pull. So shout out to Nicholas G.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't think it's happening. I don't think that's gonna happen. But no, I like where your head's at. I like where your head's at.
I just want to see Creature because I know that's a big supporter there. I want Tales news for the next main entry, but I don't see it happening at most the end of this year. Okay. I get that's where I'm kind of at, Creature. I thought it'd be a fun question, but I feel like I'm with you. I feel like it'll be next year, but it could be this year. Just very 50-50. Two more that I thought of. and if anybody else has ideas, feel free to drop them. Mass Effect.
Oh, yeah, I think if EA has their own thing, they'd save it for sure.
See,
but
and that's
they
where I'm at.
potentially
Like we're
couldn't.
talking about the presence of other publishers in their own showcases. I'm against you on that. I don't feel like EA will do their own thing because they haven't really done it since just before the Dead Space remake came out. That was the last time they did like their own show of any kind.
That's true. So they could be
So,
putting it on hold and just putting it on Jeff.
Yeah. Now EA has a good relationship with Xbox again. Like they definitely, if they lean to any of the big three, they definitely lean to Xbox. But
Yeah.
something tells me, I feel like this is like Tails. I feel like next year, but this year's a little bit sketchy.
I also
think
Dragon
Age, but
I think exactly, and I think that because of that, they're too far out from Mass Effect 4 for it to even show up. So I would say under.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna throw the ball back in your court and say, what about Jedi 3 from Respawn?
Oh, okay,
dude. If we get Jedi 3, I'd say same thing. If I see Leo in Canadian space, if I see Cal Kestis at this freaking Summer Games Fest, I'm gonna lose
Nick,
my mind. I'm gonna flip
can I
over a
ask
bowl
you,
of chips.
do you have a connection with Cal because he looks like you?
Absolutely. Yes. Cameron Monaghan is my spirit actor. He is me. We are the same.
I would love that. I like Silver's like Jedi 3, that's years away. I don't know, like, because when did Jedi Fallen Order come out? 2019.
Fallen Order came out. Was it 2019? Okay, that's true.
I think it was 2019. Yeah.
Because Survivor came out in 2023, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And they did lose the director. Who was the lead director, which is a little bit of a sad thing for me because I just don't know where the story is going to go. Also, Respawn facing a lot of like layoff issues, which is another like super sad thing. I don't know if that affects the Jedi team or not, but either way, one or the other, I'm going to be happy when we get it. It'd be crazy if we saw it, but you know how Silver, you know how game companies do this. They show shit way before it's ready now because executives consistently don't know what they're doing on a reliable basis.
We're getting better about that, though, I
then,
feel. I really feel we are getting slightly better over time. Like there's a lot of like the freaking Rebirth this is part of the Kingdom Hearts 4 video that again I would highly recommend watching that. And I like even noticed with Square Enix, somebody that has a long history of showing things way too early. They've been slowly getting better over time between FF16 and Rebirth. Like they revealed those games within the 2 years of them coming out or 3 years coming out. So they didn't pull a Kingdom Hearts 3 with those. But so I think folks are getting better about it. But yeah, I think like if this was posed to me, Jedi 3, yeah, I'd say under.
Okay.
I would think about it if it was next year, but I would love it. I'm with you. I would love to see it.
My heart.
And my heart. But another this is one that I'm curious if anybody knows. Project Century. We just saw this at the Game Awards. It's a brand new project from the people that do the Yakuza series.
Oh yes, I remember, and it's like a modern day thing, right? Or it's like a semi-modern.
No, I think you're playing as like just you're in like old Edo era Japan or something like that, and maybe they have guns. I can't remember, but you're just going around fighting around town, and it's raining, and it looks like great graphics. They showed at the Game Awards. I'd be stoked to see that again. I kind of want to just say over, just because I have a feeling, I don't know, maybe that's a project that's decently further along and they were ready to show it, and then maybe it's like they'll show it and then go 2026 or something. But
agreed.
Yeah, Silver's 50-50 on that, but I could see that.
Okay, I got you.
Do you have any quick ones?
Dude, I have a whole list of stuff that
I
have a whole list of stuff that some of them we touched on, some of them we haven't.
Touch upon one or two of them, because then I had something I forgot I bookmarked earlier from you. Actually, okay, sorry. Let me. I want to hear this list, but just because you brought this up earlier, then now we know there's nothing but mystery. You brought up Borderlands 4, and I had a thing on my sheet here to try to keep me on topic here, but like safest bets. the things that you think are guaranteed to be there, or just a single thing you think is guaranteed to be there.
Yeah.
It's funny because for me, I'm like, oh, Borderlands 4. No question. So that's where
No
we differ.
no
I'm
doubt.
like,
Okay.
I'm like, no
be right.
doubt. They show
could
up
be
at
right.
every single thing for the past
And
year. Every
and I
single
think,
one.
yeah. Everyone, every single showcase.
Everyone.
And the thing is that you're actually right. And I'm gonna recant what I said earlier because they're gonna market the hell out of this game because that's what Strauss Zelnick is good at. And I just hope we don't see fucking Randy what's his face on the goddamn stage next to Jeff Keighley. Like, what's the God, Randy Pitchford? I do not want to see that man's face. I don't want to see him. Leave me alone. Come out with Borderlands 4. Come out with the game. I'm sure it's going to be great. Shout out to the huge Borderlands fans. I'm sure they're going to get what they want out of that game. Maybe, potentially, question mark. I don't know the kind of desire for it. But yeah, Borderlands, nah, I'm good on that personally. My lock, my auto lock for this game, like high up there, is Crimson Desert. I think they are 100% going to be there. They were at SGF last year, and they were at PAX East this year, and they're about to come out with it. I don't think there is a release date for it yet, but I think that they're ready to show it off again.
Yeah, they just have said 2025, and I was there at the Game Awards when I think that's when they revealed that just window.
Yeah.
So they're saying 2025. I'm with you on that. I think that's a great safe bet. Like I definitely think that's a good shout, Nick. Silver brought something to our over/under Half-Life 3.
Silver, I'm sorry to say this to you. This might surprise people, but I think we're gonna have to go with under for that one, honestly.
That's a Game Awards thing. Like if you ask that question at the Game Awards, even then that's tough. But that's the only shot. Like that's the only place. I thought that's what was gonna happen last year. Like the way Jeff built it up, I thought it was gonna be Half-Life 3. I'm like, you're impossible. But yeah.
I have
anyway.
I have two. I have another two that I think are high probability games, but this is also very much biased based on my current fantasy critic draft, and that's FBC Firebreak and Rematch. I think we definitely will see more of those because Rematch is coming out on June 19th. I don't remember when the FBC Firebreak, if it's going to be later this year, but that's definitely going to get. Yeah, it could be. It could be. We're getting spoiled with all of the stuff that's coming out right now. It's actually like you said, we need to breathe. And both of them are coming to Game Pass. So yeah, that's going to be a huge thing. Dude, we didn't talk about this because obviously we know how Square Enix is. But like, are we seeing anything Square Enix? Like, how insane would it be if a Final Fantasy IX remake trailer were to pop up at Summer Games Fest?
That's the talk.
Is that also a Game Awards thing? Yeah.
You know what? I think. Funny enough, I feel like that's a Nintendo thing.
Yeah. Really?
For some reason, I feel like
Switch
that's
2?
like, I don't know why or what it is about it. Like, it makes sense for it to be a PlayStation thing and everything, but for some reason, I just feel like gut instinct. I'm like, I feel like it's a Nintendo thing to just build that relationship with Square Enix and to show like we're the newest, biggest games that they're releasing are going to be on our system and everything. But but I could picture it here. I could picture that. That'd be pretty freaking wild.
It would be like I said, it would make the greatest Summer Games Fest Jeff has ever had. So he's pulled some surprising games.
Summer Game Fest is so sketchy, man. It's so 50-50 with the way it goes.
It is.
Like
it is.
It's the most.
It's hard to tell.
Let's just chill and watch this kind of a thing instead of
for sure
anything too crazy. But
it's not a moment. It's not a moment for sure.
Yeah, like Patrick saying Final Fantasy IX remake sounds like a Game Awards announcement. Interesting.
Yeah.
And Steffi, this is a good one. I'm patiently waiting for any new info on the next Tomb Raider. There is a Tomb Raider that's been in development for a bit, just behind the scenes, to my knowledge. I could be wrong about that, but I thought that they have been working on it, but they just haven't officially revealed it or anything. I could picture that, man. I don't know. That's kind of... Ooh.
Did you know that Sophie Turner was recast as Lara Croft in the new Tomb Raider reboot that they're doing? and
I did not.
she's like ripped. She's ripped. Do you know Sophie Turner, famous for Game of Thrones? She played Sansa Stark,
Oh.
and she's been in a few more things. She was also Jean Grey in that horrible X-Men Dark Phoenix movie that
Oh,
everybody knew
yes.
about but hated. But yeah, so she's
I
been
can't
recast
picture her as
as
Tomb
Lara
Raider.
Croft. She's
Lara
blonde
Croft,
now.
what?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like the polar opposite from the Angelina Jolie Lara Croft that we grew up with. So I'm sure they'll figure out how to do it. It's Hollywood. They got the Hollywood
What?
magic. But I wouldn't be surprised if that was like a next year thing or whenever, like they'll schedule it to come out like maybe 2 or 3 months before the movie drops. Maybe just to hype up people for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Were you talking about the game or the movie?
Well, I was talking about both. Like the Sophie Turner was cast
Well, but like
as
the
Lara Croft from the
casting,
movie. Yeah, in the
okay.
movie. In the movie.
Yeah, that's why I was
Yep.
like, I can't picture her being a part of the game thing. Like the movie, it's like,
Oh,
okay,
no.
whatever they
No.
do. Okay. I was
Yeah.
really confused. I'm like, I can't picture they used her for the model for the game. Like what?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
dude.
didn't like, well, what is Eidos Montreal like? They're gone, right? Like they're closed down, aren't they?
Are they the ones that did Tomb Raider?
Yeah, they were the ones that did the the
Oh,
latest Tomb Raider
shit.
games, and they're gone.
No
I don't think we're getting another
way.
Tomb Raider.
Really?
Legitimately, like,
Well, there was two. I get mixed up on that whole thing. There was two Montreal whatevers, and one of them got closed. I don't remember that whole thing.
I'm
No,
like
it couldn't have been
90%
because
sure.
that was a W. The Montreal that closed or whatever was a WB thing, but Square was the people that did Tomb Raider, so it couldn't have been the same one. But oh no, I'm remembering what you're talking about.
Yeah, because they
I don't
sold it to
know.
Embracer Group. Yeah.
Yes, that's yes.
Yeah, because
you're right.
Crystal Dynamics went to Embracer, and then now they were
That's
like,
who
"Oops,
did it. Crystal Dynamics.
oops."
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, we can't fund this anymore, so you're just gonna cease to exist forever. Like what?
Yeah.
And like, who knows
Yeah.
if like Embracer still owns the IP? Like, you imagine that they don't own like the Crystal Dynamics Tomb
Yeah.
Raider Lara Croft version IP, but who knows? Who knows how that works? That's way over my head.
Silver saying Crystal Dynamics said that a Tomb Raider game was in the works years ago. So still in the works though is the question. And I did see, I mean, I'll bring it up just because it's us. I forgot who said it, or Silver. Nah, Kingdom Hearts 4. It's so cute. Kingdom Hearts 4 Summer Game Fest.
That's so funny.
I'm telling you right now, if that was a question, over or under, and it's just because Jeff, like, I feel like it's a meme now that Jeff will not show anything Kingdom Hearts at his shows. I don't know if that's an actual thing, but I feel like the Kingdom Hearts community is kind of running with that.
Yeah, I would imagine. So, Tony, here's a serious question for you, though.
Yeah.
A little bit of a tangent, a little bit of a diversion. What the heck is going on with Ken Levine and Judas? Like, Maeve
dude.
from the Game Together podcast.
Okay, so I want to sort of close this out with two things. But first,
Sure.
let me just skip to the personal hopes. And you've already kind of shared, you gave me your ideas of like, you'll lose your mind if you see Resident Evil 9 or the next Jedi game. And for me, one of those three things is Judas. I'm like, where the frick is Judas? One, because I drafted it. So I need that game to come out.
That was a bad move.
But
it was supposed to be March this year. It was supposed to be March.
I went with that. I'm like, okay, that's not going to make that, but it'll be like a summer or fall release. So that's what I bet on.
Yeah.
But you know, that could still happen. And I'm hoping for just one, the draft, but also it's like I want to play it. I loved what I've played from BioShock so far, and I want to see what that creator's done. And I'm not an RPG guy, but I'm into like this where you just mess with the environment. I want to see that so bad. So that's
for sure.
That's one for me. Stage Fright. Stage Fright is one that nobody knows. It is by the people that made Overcooked, and it showed up at the Game Awards this most recent Game Awards. And I love that team. I forget their name, but Overcooked's an amazing game, and Stage Fright, they didn't show any gameplay. They hinted at seeing gameplay, like the characters are just watching it, but you don't see it. I'm like, you assholes. But it just seems like it could be something cool. I definitely want to see that. But the most of all, the thing that nobody but me like I don't expect to see this anywhere except maybe Summer Game Fest or potentially Day of the Devs. Because if I see the logo, and I think the only person that's watching this live that will know what this is, if I see the Mobius digital logo, I'm going to chop my dick off.
Whoa, no, Tony, you need that.
I'm saying that because it will never happen.
Okay.
Mobius Digital, you know who Mobius Digital is, Nick?
I honestly don't. If I did at one point, I don't anymore.
It's who we did a podcast about, my friend.
Uh-oh.
It's
Really?
the developer of Outer Wilds.
Oh, for Outer Wilds. So Outer Wilds 2. Isn't that a thing? I'm pretty sure they're working on it.
They're just working on something new, you know, and
Oh,
they've been
okay,
working
so
on
it's
it for a
not
while.
confirmed. Okay.
Yeah, but they've been hiring for a while, and they've been working on it for at least a year or two now, so it's probably not anywhere. But I'm just that's gonna be my new Pikmin 4 for Nintendo Directs. It's like if I see a Mobius Digital thing during Day of the Devs or Summer Game Fest, I'm gonna lose my mind. So those are my three. But is there anything you would like lose your mind to that you think is like not impossible? You know, like I'm with you. I think Jedi 3 and Resident Evil 9 are Resident Evil 9 much more likely, but
yeah, I would say if we saw Little Nightmares 3, I would lose my mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
because that's extremely likely. I would say.
I feel like it's very likely. And I would still pop the heck off for it because I just played 1 and 2 last year for our Spooktober episode on the Friday Night Gamecast, and just quality, incredible games. Different developer, still very excited.
Can I ask,
I would say,
are you more excited for Little Nightmares 3 or Reanimal? You know what Reanimal is?
Yes, I am. That's the next Tarsier game.
That's the actual developer, so.
Yeah. I would honestly, because it seems like more little, like the aesthetic of Little Nightmares, right? Like it's like a 1-to-1 thing. So I would love to see either. I'm more, I guess I would, to answer your question, I'd be more excited to see the next thing that Tarsier puts out because I'm very nervous about whether or not Supergiant can pull off what they're trying to accomplish with Little Nightmares 3. So it remains to be seen. And their track record is a little sketchy. So that would be crazy. I have a shit list though of games that are like high probability to be there. Yep. And the first one is Tales of the Shire. Even though that got delayed, that would be, I think it's a probability that we see Tales of the Shire. This is a sizzle reel. This is a sizzle reel type situation.
I bet it even gets a trailer. I think it'll even get a trailer.
Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar coming out on the Switch 2. That's honestly a pull that could come to Switch 2. It's a third-party game, though. So Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar could come out. And then Rune Factory Gardens of Azuma coming out on May 30th. That's my shit list for games that come out. I'll just be like, all right, let me look at my blue sky for a little bit while this is playing in the background.
The safe things that, like, you know, like, okay, I get it. Yeah, moving on.
The last thing, and this is the last thing I'll say, is one of the bigger pop-offs that I have really been waiting on to see when they're going to finally finish it for real is Hades 2. We finally get an announcement of the full post-alpha. This game is out, and I think that is an over for Summer Games Fest, and I think that could be a really good pull for Jeff to show that off. I
agree. I would love, if you're watching, like, I would love to know that over under Hades 2 official release. No longer early access, just actual date. This is it. Yeah. I think that's going to be a moment of the show. I think that is a good get, Nick. That's a good. If we were drafting and you drafted that, I'd be like, damn, that's a good draft.
Damn.
Yeah. In terms of both being spicy, but also likely. Silver and Patrick already say over. Oh, Silver, what about Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD remakes, whatever? I mean,
is that not exclusive to the Switch? Am I wrong about that?
That's a good question. I don't know. Are those exclusive to the Switch? I mean, I have no idea. I feel like that would be if Nintendo does have a late June Direct, I feel like that's where that would go. But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 12.
So I never signed any documentation, but I know for a fact that people saw and had hands-on with Dragon Quest 12 at PAX East 25. So
Oh,
that is a thing that is, if we, this is a secret. This is a secret, chat. All right, that's
okay.
probably an over. That's probably an over for this channel, for the show,
Oh,
for Summer Games Fest. Yeah,
oh, wow.
yeah,
Let's go, Nick.
yeah, man.
I mean, that happens. Like, I went to PAX West and I heard that many times, like, because I had lunch with some content creators and they were saying like, oh yeah, we have a behind closed doors play of this game. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? And,
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Like,
so
where's my invite? What are you talking about?
yeah. Oh, this year I'm gonna try to make it happen. But
Okay.
yeah,
Nice.
interesting. Muse saying there's a leak
Very
that
good.
claims Dragon Quest 12 is for 2026, and I believe that. I think Dragon Quest 12 will be in
That makes sense.
2026.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I think that'll be a big moment for Square Enix. That would be. I have to admit, that's gonna be a big moment of the show if that does happen.
Tony, are you a big
I'm not a
Dragon
Dragon
Quest
Quest
fan?
person.
Is okay,
no,
okay.
but I recognize it on paper that it's a big.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
big enough, you know.
Kind of
with
like
the fan.
Tails,
like
a little
Tails.
bit bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We both just said the same thing. Like Tails.
Same brain.
Yeah. Steffi, if there'd be a teaser of Spyro 4, where would that happen?
Xbox.
I feel like so. I feel like that's something that, like, I do have this whole theory about if a Banjo-Kazooie game was ever in the works, then they would actually reveal it at a Nintendo show. You could go to the video as to why that is. But I feel like Spyro, that's a little bit different since that has like a history on PlayStation and it's not as like identifiable to a platform as much, like other than PlayStation, honestly. So I feel like they would reveal that at the Xbox show, which we'll talk about that on another stream or another video because I have thoughts about that. But I would definitely, to answer the question, would say an Xbox show
For sure.
maybe even this year. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
That would be nice.
But
That'd be nice.
and finally, there's rumors that 2K is prepping a BioShock announcement.
Oh, like a remake or like a new BioShock type beat?
I thought there's been rumors for the longest time that there's a new BioShock game in development, like a brand new one.
Huh. That's cool. That's
And,
cool.
that would be like, that's what you close with. There's no question.
Right.
That's what you close with if that happens.
For sure. That is a in one final thing game. 100%. A one final thing game. That would be really cool if they were to do that. I've only played a BioShock 1. I know that people like 2 generally, painting in broad strokes, and then I know that BioShock Infinite is super divisive. People either love it or they hate it. Where did you land on that?
I love it.
Really?
BioShock
Okay.
Infinite is like one of the goats.
One of the goats.
Well,
what are
for
your
sure,
faves? Okay.
I don't know about faves, but it's like one of those games. It's like one of those movies, shows, games, books, whatever that you consume. That's just like, it maybe isn't one of your favorites, but it's one of your most admired. You know what I mean?
Like it.
Like you just respect it so much. Exactly. Yeah.
Experience.
And that's how I feel about BioShock Infinite. I'm like, this is just basically flawless to me. But I think the ending, maybe that's where people get divisive, but that's where I give it the #1 award. It is the best ending to any video game of all time, in my opinion. That is,
wow.
I will stand on that hill. That is the greatest ending to any video game ever.
Okay.
But yeah, C2's like, I believe the rumors for a BioShock 1 remake. And I'd accept that, you know, and we're in this day and age that remakes and stuff are a thing, but yeah. Oh, King Xbox, we may see OD. And you know, OD has had
that
a
would
presence.
Be cool. But I mean, it's an Xbox exclusive, so I feel like they would save it for their showcase.
Yeah,
that's right around the corner.
Too,
so yeah.
But
that would be neat. Kojima's having a real presence this year. It'd be really cool. I also like
cool.
I know that their studio is so focused on getting the Death Stranding 2 out the door, wrapped up with a bow, and just perfect for their launch on PlayStation. I feel like they might want to divert their efforts in doing it. I mean, they could. I don't know how marketing works.
Didn't we just hear a story about like how far off that next like PlayStation exclusive one is? Did he say, like,
Fizzant apparently is like
something?
5 or 6 years away. Is what the most recent thing is, and it's also like people are saying that Fizzant could be like arguably like one of the last Kojima games because of his age and like his desire to pursue other creative projects and stuff like that. So it's a real head scratcher there. I mean, who knows? And people
OD
say
was
that all the
announced in
time.
2022 as just a project, so that might mean it comes out in 2027. So yeah, I feel like if that's another thing, there's many things that could happen next year, man. I tell you what, this conversation next year, oh boy, buckle your seatbelt up. Next year,
crazy.
I can't tell you how many things I think like 2026 and 2027 is going to be a 2-year period of such amazing shenanigans. But wait, what is Silver? What about a BioShock game that is set after 2 and not infinite? Interesting, like an official BioShock 3. Interesting. I don't know. So I've only played Infinite.
I don't even know the reference of the timeline. I don't even know the reference of the timeline of like how long it was between 2 and Infinite. I know it's a different area. Like it goes from Rapture.
Like I see
to
stuff in the DLC of Infinite. In the DLC,
and they go back to Rapture, right?
Yes, the girl she's like in Rapture or something. I'm like, what's happening?
You're like, this means nothing to me.
Yeah, but anyway. Oh, C2, this is a good one. Will Pragmata be there? Oh, that's a good shout. Do you remember Pragmata?
That's a good one. I remember it. I do remember it.
Oh, that's a good shout. I want to see that. Oh, I think that I'm betting on that. I'm with you, C2.
Okay.
Okay. But does that show up at Summer Game Fest or PlayStation? I think we do get a release window of it this year because it was supposed to come out in 2023 and they pushed it that far back. So I think we do get a release window. I just don't know if we see it at Summer Game Fest or PlayStation. It'll be one of those two. I don't know. But
I agree with you.
Yeah. Probably PlayStation because I think they revealed it with PlayStation as well. So maybe they have some marketing deal. Like you said earlier,
I always get tripped
Capcom
up by this game.
And PlayStation are.
Yeah, they're just so intertwined. I always get tripped up by this game because like the dude who's like, or like the main character or the playable character of this game looks just like or very close to the Hideo Kojima little spacesuit dude logo. Doesn't it like almost one for one look like him?
The character models look exactly like his engine and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, we've hit the hour mark, and is there any like let's just say bow on the tie? Anything else that like you think about Summer Game Fest and the absence of Nintendo and PlayStation or anybody else? Like just I mean, for me, like for example, we will in just 1 minute, we will not get the Dino Crisis remake, unfortunately. And
oh no,
but I definitely think we'll see that Capcom presence, and hopefully it's a good show. The big thing that I'm very curious to see for Summer Game Fest specifically is him Jeff Keighley following up the Game Awards, because I think everybody agrees that the Game Awards 2024 was like super amazeballs, and there was so many old IP that showed up at that show, and I'm wondering if he follows up the Game Awards or if he's following up previous year's Summer Game Fest. And that's what I'll be very curious to find out.
Yeah.
That's my closing statement. How about you, Nick?
Yeah, I think that there is a strong probability, obviously, for having these third-party publishers really pushing stuff out there. And there's a lot of like IP out there that have not seen the light of day for a while or have been announced, and we just don't know what's coming out. So, and I think that this is going to be such a good showcase for Jeff because of the absence of GTA 6. I think that now that that albatross is removed from around the neck of all of the people who have saved, because I guarantee you all the games we're talking about, we would have heard about earlier, or they would have gotten dates on prior to everyone knowing that GTA 6 was going to be pushed to 2026. But yeah, I think that a lot of the stuff that we're going to see here is going to be good. I would not be surprised also to run down the list to see if we're going to see MGS Delta again during Summer Games Fest. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like Dying Light: The Beast or another trailer for the Mafia Old Country game. I think that those all make sense for that sort of thing, for kind of tentpole.
I see that, Silver. Yep, Killing Floor 3. That's a good shout too.
Yeah, exactly. So those are the good things. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Riot and some of their games like 2XKO make an appearance there, if we see some more of those live service pulls. But for everything else, all of the like the larger like niche like first party stuff, it's gonna be mainly crickets for those. But yeah, other than that, I think we got it. We hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, we're the masters of disaster.
Exactly.
If you guys like, I've seen all the messages of things coming in, and please, still keep them coming. Let us know. Dance Central's coming back. Nicholas says, for example, man, wouldn't that be something? They can't even do that because the Connect died. So, but yeah, that would be a good time. And I don't know, like I'm looking forward to it. Like Nick kind of plugged in for me because he's my PR assistant. I will be reacting to it. I'm looking forward to that because that's something I always love doing with just the community. And something else I love doing with the community is having a good game. And I feel like the past 2 Codem Good games, I have not done a situation because I was just kind of running a solo show. But, oh, Nick, I guess it comes to you because as we do these trivia things at the end of just various kind of things of a Codem Good game, where we wrap the show up with a fun time looking back on games and things that we love and testing our knowledge of them. It tied on guessing 20 questions or guess the music. As I asked the chat, I asked the people watching live, and they tied on guess the music or guessing 20 questions. So, I don't know. I leave it to you if you have a preference between those two. If we do guess the music, I'm giving you that handicap because I watched our previous episode.
I'm not doing that again. That was so bad. I was so bad at that. So I have a good pull for you for 20 questions. So let's do it.
Yes. Woo! For me. Yes. Oh, sweet.
That's right.
Okay, sweet. Oh, I'm excited. I never get to play. I was telling Nick, I'm like, if that happens, up to you. If you want to like guess or whatever or host it, either or. So cool. I'm down. Let's do it
for you. Okay.
All right. So if you guys don't know what 20 questions is, it is where we are asked there's the guesser or the guessers, and they can only ask yes or no questions. That is going to be me this time around. That's awesome. The host, who's Nick, he has a game in mind that is, who knows? Hopefully it's either maybe something mainstream enough that I would know, or something I could know, or something very challenging. It's up to him. I have no idea. But I have to figure it out within 20 yes or no questions. And Nick, you are also allowed to go like soft yes or soft no if you feel like it's not a definitive, you know?
Okay.
Sometimes there's that, or maybe it's like, I need to give context, but only the slightest. Like, but most of the time, just focus on yes or no, or maybe soft yes, soft no. Or maybe it's like, I can't answer that. So without further ado, and your job watching is keep track how many questions been asked, what question was asked, and so on. And with that, I'm just wondering if I have these sounds. Oh, I do. Yay. Let the questioning begin. Okay, Nick, for my my first question, yes, it is helpful to have the internet on your side on this.
Yes.
And if you're listening, play along. Was this game released? I know what I want to ask, but I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it. Okay. What? All right. I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Was this at launch? Was this game a console exclusive?
No.
Okay. Did this game release 2010 or later?
Did the game release in 2010 or later? Yes.
Okay.
Now we get down to the real stuff here, Tony.
Sorry, you said yes?
Yes, it released after 2010.
Okay. Okay. I for some reason thought you were going to go, it released on January 23rd, 2017. I was like, wait. Okay, so yes, and it was not a console exclusive at launch.
Steffi's killing it in the chat. Thank you for getting those questions.
Yes,
Steffi.
She's awesome. Thank you so much, Steffi. Shout out to Steffi and Capone, executive producers of everything. Thank you guys so much. Is this an M-rated game?
Ooh, good question.
That rules out a lot. Is this game rated M for mature? Remember those trailers? Rated M for mature.
Rated M for mature.
Followed by one of the cool Halo trailers.
Yes, it is M-rated.
Okay. Okay. Bye, Nintendo. Well, I already found out it wasn't console exclusive, so. Well, is Bayonetta rated M? Don't answer that.
God, it has to be. It has to be, honestly.
Yeah, but is it though? Is it T? Okay. All right, this is a tricky one. Okay, this is a hack. You ready for this?
Okay.
Have we mentioned the publisher of this game in this whole episode?
No.
What?
We have not. We have not.
We said Ubisoft, EA, Square Enix, Xbox, which includes all the other things now, PlayStation, Nintendo. None? Oh, shit.
That's a clue for you. That's a clue for you, Tony.
What? Wow. That narrowed out a lot of things.
Yeah, it did.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Is this an indie game? To your knowledge, is this?
Yes.
Okay. Because I know that's complicated nowadays.
No, it's an indie game.
Okay. Was this released after 2020 or later?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Recent indie game. That is, obviously, because I that publisher question. Damn, this is gonna get tough then.
You're kind of killing it, Tony. You're killing it, but
this is what this is what you do at the beginning. I tell people, I'm like, just spend the first single digit questions being as broad as possible, because then you could rule out
get your
so
time
many
frame.
things. Yeah. Okay, so is this game? Does this game kind of have a very, okay, how do I ask this? Does this game have a, I'll just ask it in this way, in your opinion, Nick, in your subjective opinion, do you think this game has a very unique art style?
That's a tough question to answer, because it's like art direction versus art style. Do you mean the presentation, the camera angle, or is it the art design?
Like Plague Tale, that's not unique. It's just realistic. And then something like Grease or Plan of Lana, kind of. I don't know. Maybe let's skip that. I'm gonna
say no. It's not a unique art style, personally.
Okay. Is it? I wanted to ask, is it on Game Pass? But I don't think I don't want to make you research that. Is do you play as a human in this game?
I can't answer that question.
Fuck. Okay. Damn it.
That's a tough one. I will tell you, I do know the answer to the previous one that you kind of went back on, but I can tell you that that it is not.
If you're,
it's not currently on Xbox Game Pass. It is not currently on Xbox Game Pass.
Okay. 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 This will rule out a few things, especially in the indie scene. Is this game published by Devolver Digital or Annapurna? Either or?
No.
Okay, that narrowed it down hard. Okay, so I'm getting a very narrow field here. And I'm almost in my single digits. Oh, I am through my single digit stuff now. Okay, so it's not by Annapurna, it's not by Devolver Digital. Hey, Nick. Was this game... How do I want to ask this? Okay. How do I want to ask this? I want to ask a question about the Game Awards.
Okay. The Game Awards,
but
okay.
I'm like trying to figure out how I want to ask it.
Okay.
I would appreciate if you could look this up if you don't know the answer, but
Okay.
was this game nominated for Best Independent Game or Best Debut Indie Game?
Oh, good question. Let me
Maybe just
take a
look
look
up
here.
the
At the
year of
Game
release
Awards,
and-
is that your
At the Game
question?
Awards, yeah.
It was not nominated for a best
Oh.
best indie. It was not.
Frick, what did you pick?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it arguably should have been, in my opinion, but it just
Sure.
wasn't.
Okay. I gotta start getting specific then. All right, I'm just gonna burn through stuff. Is this a horror game?
Yes.
Oh!
Yes.
Oh shit! Wow. Okay. Okay, because horror indies never do. I need to look at a timeline now.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I'm not cheating. I'm just like wanting to fact
no,
check
for sure,
something.
for sure. No, I got you. I got you.
Because now I have suspicions. Because that narrowed it down hard. Frick. Oh my god, Nick. Oh my god. Did you do it? Okay. Okay.
I think you figured it out, probably.
Does this indie game, is it part of a series? Like, has it had spin-offs or sequels of some kind?
No.
Oh, it's not what I thought it was.
No, okay.
I thought it was Little Nightmares 2.
Yeah, it's not. It's not Little Nightmares 2. No.
Okay. Oh, that was published by Bandai Namco. Does that make it an indie game or not? I don't know. Anyway, that's so confusing now. Okay. It's a
Right.
horror game. It's not Little Nightmares. Is this a game that you do you have a 3D plane? You know, like you could go any direction you want, but it's not like one of those insides where you're just scrolling sideways or whatever.
It's not a third-person game.
No.
It's not like a
3D
third
plane. Like you can move any direction.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Okay, so it's not some 2D artsy thing. Damn it, Nick, you picked horror. My least favorite genre. You picked horror.
I sure did.
I sure did. You're like, I'm getting back at you for that music thing that you put me through. Wow. Interesting. I don't know if I can get it then if it's horror. Okay, I'm trying to think. Okay. I think the developer is Supermassive. Is this a Supermassive game? The people that did Until Dawn and everything?
Unfortunately not. It is not a supermassive game.
Okay.
And I do want to go back. I want to go back to clarify an earlier answer when you talked about art style, and I think this might help you. Like you asked whether or not it's like a unique art style. It's not like when we talk about something being like cell shaded or pixel graphics, that sort of thing. Like that, the art design isn't. It's used widely. The art direction is very unique in and of itself. So I hope that helps.
It doesn't, but okay.
Okay, that's
I'm kidding. No, I appreciate it. All right. I wonder if I'd get this.
It's a little bit of a tough
Okay.
one.
Hey,
It's a little bit.
okay. Okay.
Oh,
We're gonna
I'll also
like
throw
a
you a
little-
bone. I'll throw you a bone too.
No. I'm okay. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
All right. No, for sure.
I'll
For
try.
sure.
I'll try.
For sure. We got
Sure.
20 questions. We got 20 questions.
Here's what I'm curious about. Like I only got like 5 or 6 left. So okay.
Okay.
Hail Mary shot here. And you can answer this kind of.
Okay.
Are you aware if I have played this game or not? And if you don't know, then the answer is no.
Yeah, I'm not aware. I don't think you have. Otherwise, I would have really popped off on my radar. Like, I don't think I've ever seen any art from this game pop up on like a Samurai KBG YouTube thumbnail or heard you talk about it before.
Okay. Steffi's like, he's
Steffi
okay.
said, make it struggle.
Make him struggle.
Mhm.
All right, we're at the finish line here, so let's get there. Is there any can you fight back in this game? Like if you have okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you can fight back. Okay, so this is a horror game I do want to play now. Because I just can't do the horror games that you can't fight. Freaking Outlast.
Yeah.
But it's not Outlast. That's part of a series. You could fight back.
Mhm.
You could fight back. It's an indie game. That was after 2020 or later. Wow. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna get this, so I'm just gonna keep asking questions. Did this release 2023 or later?
No.
Okay.
No.
So 2020 to 2022.
Mhm.
And it was not console exclusive at launch. Is I want to figure out the horror aspect of it. Is the horror in this game supernatural? Like you deal with ghosties or possessed things or stuff like that?
It's no, it's sci-fi horror.
Okay, he didn't have to tell me that. Okay.
Okay. We're coming down to the finish line. We're coming down to the finish line. So.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not supernatural horror. I mean, I would have ruled it down to that too. Well, either sci-fi or psychological. It would have been one of those two.
Yeah.
I would have thought.
Yeah. Yeah, it splits in the middle between those also. So it's new, modern horror often does.
Oh, Nick, you were gonna make me so happy. Oh, I thought it was Amori for a second because that's psychological horror and that matches everything. Oh, if you never played Amori, play Amori. It's amazing. I don't think I'm gonna get this. Okay, so you can move in a 3D plane. Fine, I guess I will ask the earlier question that, so is this third person?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not like it's not like, I mean, I'll just like help you. It's like not over the shoulder third person.
Sure. Yeah. But you see your character and
you see your character. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I need to look up the name. Because I have one question left or the answer. I don't know which. Okay. What was the name of it? Why is my keyboard not working? Okay. Oh my god. If I got this, I'm gonna lose my mind. Would you say, does this game resemble Dead Space a lot?
Oh, what do you mean by that? Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
How do I phrase this? I could have swore. All right, let me. I'm trying to figure out how to ask this.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like it's pretty straightforward. Does it
Does it look like Dead Space? Is that
or
what
was
you like? Does
at
it
the
resemble
very
Dead Space?
least like clearly inspired by Dead Space.
Inspired by Space. Um, there
Very
are
obviously.
there are definitely things about this game that were clearly inspired
right.
by Dead Space for sure.
All right. I didn't get this because you should have answered this with an easy yes if I was right. Okay. That is 20 questions. The
Okay.
only guess that I could possibly think of, and I'm like, I don't think this is an indie game, so it doesn't really fit anyway, but I just can't think of anything. Is it Callisto Protocol?
Oh gosh. So remember, you asked me whether or not I could say if you played as a human or not, and I couldn't answer that question.
Oh, you're
But
right.
it's not Callisto Protocol. And it's not
You're
Omori. And I was gonna
right.
say that on Omori either, but I know you were thinking you're trying to do the time frame game thing. But do you want me to tell you? Is it time for the reveal?
Give
Or
me a
do you
very
want to
obvious
guess?
hint.
I'd like take a couple more guesses.
I didn't.
Honestly.
No, I didn't get it. No, I didn't get it.
Okay.
I guess
Okay.
Callisto Protocol, but give me a very obvious hint.
A very obvious hint. It was inspired by Resident Evil and Silent Hill. Like direct inspirations.
Nope. All right.
Nope.
What
Okay.
is it?
It's Signalis. It's Signalis.
Oh. Oh, I have no recollection of this game, but the name, yes, I'm looking it up now.
Okay.
Yes. Oh. Wow. Yeah, and you do move in a 3D plane. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're not a human in a set. Yeah, that's
Well,
totally
yeah.
what it
So,
is.
and I mean that's probably a little bit of a spoiler too. I mean, you find out pretty early on in the game things
Oh.
aren't as it seems, but like it's a little bit for anybody potentially. And this is what I'll say to chat: if you haven't played this game is a like once in a generation 2-person developer game, Rose Engine, and it's this incredible story about this soldier in the far future called Elster. And it is just this incredibly beautiful pixel art 2.5D top down fixed camera angle survival horror shooter. And it has puzzles. It has a story that is incredibly deep and emotional, and like you have to work to figure out what's going on in the world. It engages like esoteric philosophy and totalitarianism, and like it pulls in this retro futurist aesthetic. It's honestly one of my favorite horror games of all time. Definitely in the top 5. Signalis is great. And yeah, it's I'm very excited for when they potentially are ready to come out with something, either a sequel to it or something similar to it, because they're super talented developers. But yeah, Signalis, that was the one. I figured it was you said it, you wouldn't mind if it was a tough one, so I was like, let me get something for
No, I
Tony.
don't mind. I'm a good sport. I don't like it
Yeah.
when I play this with people and they're just like, "Oh, I've never played that game." I'm like, "Okay." But with me, that was a fair pick cuz I'm well informed and stuff, and I definitely have heard of
Yeah.
Signalis and I've seen bits and
It
pieces
was,
of it, but
and I wanted to tell you that it was on Game Pass at one point, but literally while I was playing it, it
it
got
was.
taken down from Game Pass.
Yeah.
So I
See,
felt
that's
like
what I
wasn't
worry
sure if
about
that
is I was
too
like,
much.
it probably could have been, but it's not anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Maybe I should have said that, like, was this on Game Pass at one time?
Yeah, that's a good generalized
Yeah.
statement for sure.
Yeah. That's awesome. No, that's a good shout. And
Yeah.
where you know what? For those that feel like supporting the channel, I'm gonna record a members only conversation between Nick and I about Nick, what's the game that changed your life that I was telling you about? Shit.
The game that changed my life that you were telling me about.
So we're gonna have a conveation about Citizen
Citizen
Sleeper after
Sleeper.
the stream.
Oh, let's go.
Because it's funny you're talking about Signalis, and it's just like,
Yeah.
that reminds me a lot of this. It's like, Nick's got a thing
Yeah.
for like sci-fi story.
Yes,
Like,
you do. You're
yes.
correct. That is
Yes.
correct. You know that I have a type of game, and that's one of them.
I got you. Well, man,
Yeah.
we're gonna wrap though because this has gone on for a really
Okay.
long time. But this has been amazing. I appreciate this conversation so much. And as you plugged in earlier, feel free to shout out again that you got your PAX East episode coming up.
Absolutely.
Right? Or Yeah.
That is correct. Yeah. So Friday Night Gamecast, we were on a long hiatus, but we're getting ready to come back on a semi-regular schedule, and we're going to be our first episode of season 4 is PAX East 2025, a review and roundup of really cool stuff that was there. So definitely make sure to check that out on all podcasting platforms. Friday Night Gamecast, and you can find me over on Blue Sky at FNGC Pod.
Awesome sauce. And yeah, folks, and as we alluded to earlier, I'll definitely be reacting to Summer Game Fest when that happens, as well as the Xbox Showcase. There will be predictions for the Xbox Showcase coming up, and because that's really the only other big show that we're aware of. There's other shows too, Future Games and Day of the Devs and so on. But it's just been great. I love Showcase season, building up to that and talking about it. So it was a great time to talk with you and Silver, Steph, C2, Capone, everybody. Guys, thank you all. Just everybody, both Nick and you, just everybody. It's just great to have this like book club. I love it. It's a good time. And I hope everybody has a great weekend and makes progress on whatever you're playing or watching, or the rest if you need it. And I'll see you in another episode. So let's say toodles, Nick.
See ya.
Everybody.
Bye, everybody.